Hi, North Carolina Education Corps. My name is Chandler Pettigrew, and I'm applying to be a tutor at Forsyth County Schools. And to answer your first question, one thing that I've found to be a positive during this past year with the pandemic has been an opportunity to reconnect with my family and my community. So the past couple of years, I've mainly been in college at Wellesley, Massachusetts, which is near Boston. And so I haven't really been home. And every time I have been home, it's kind of felt like a rush. I've been applying for internships or working part-time jobs, so I really didn't have a chance to soak in my surroundings. But being at home for the pandemic, I've been able, to see how Winston-Salem has changed. I've been able to see which businesses has failed, which new restaurants are downtown, or like to see which new roads have been completed. And it's the small things, but it helps me see how Winston-Salem is changing. And also on a more personal level, I've been able to, spend more time with my grandparents, been able to see my cousins grow up, which I wasn't able to really do when I was in college because I was too busy. So, been able to have that precious time with my family, which has been very rewarding for me. And now to look more on say the negative side, and one challenge that I found during the pandemic was finding a sense of motivation. Because when you're in an academic setting at college, there's the library, which you can easily go to. There's other students for you to talk about your classes with. But when you're mainly doing online classes, you feel the sense of isolation that you really didn't feel when you're on a liberal arts campus, you know. So I had to find a way to give me a sense of structure. So I made sure I had a set bedtime, which time I was going to get up, which time I was going to eat and exercise. So that helped me feel a sense of I was actually accomplishing things every day. And while it was a small thing, it helped me give a little bit more motivation to why I got up every day. And I guess one small silver lining to that is that it helped me reach some smaller goals that I've never really been able to reach, which might be read a book for pleasure once a week, or, exercise every couple of days, drink some water. So, it's been able to have, say, a more healthy lifestyle, both physically and mentally, which I felt as if I wouldn't have been able to do during, say, college when I was super busy, always doing something. And now, as for your second question, what time I had been very resourceful. Well, during the fall of 2018, I was studying abroad in South Korea, in Seoul, and it had been my first time ever being abroad. And one of the first things I realized was that budgeting was way harder than I thought it was going to be. And so one of the first things I did was actually look at how I could live more cheaply than I would in the States. So that was figuring out, you know, how I could barter for things. Say, I had next door neighbors that, sold food every once in a while. So I would babysit their kids to have, say, cheap meals, or, doing chores for the lady downstairs so that, she could help me with my laundry. So, it was more than anything was figuring out how I could engage with the community so I can have the resources that I need to, have a great life and have a great time in a foreign country. And now, as for your third question, how would I motivate a student? Well, for the past month, I've been working with an organization called Neighborhood Hands, and part of that organization does tutoring for students. And I mainly help these students with the remote classes, and oftentimes it's very hard for them to feel engaged or feel as if their classes matter. And one of the things I like to do with these students is figure out what they're passionate about. Because while some students might not appear to care about school, they're always passionate about something. It can be Marvel, it can be superheroes, it could be their favorite movie or their favorite rapper, but figure out what they're passionate about and try to incorporate it into something, say, more academic or educational. Like, for example, We had one student who loves superheroes, so I had him design a superhero and make a comic. And I taught him how to, sequence a story, how to write dialogue and onomatopoeia. And as for another student, he loved a certain rapper, so I had him figure out what similes, what metaphors does he use in his raps. Why do you like it so much? Why do you relate to it? Which one can argue could be part of a poetry lesson. So more than anything, we need to figure out how to engage with these students outside of just strictly what's in the textbook. And I feel as once you're able to engage with those students in that way, you'll be able to engage with them with the other educational outcomes they're supposed to reach whatever way down the line. And thank you for watching this video.